Let me be honest, most store credit cards are just simply bad. They're not even worth talking about, and they definitely don't deserve a spot in your wallet. But a lot of times when people go to Best Buy, they're buying big ticket items like huge TVs or brand new MacBooks. And it's not uncommon for people to go and spend over $1,000 per visit at Best Buy. So it makes sense to get a credit card that rewards you for all that spending that you're doing at Best Buy, or does it? So in this video, I'm going to break down everything that you need to know about the Best Buy credit card, from the tips to get approved, all the way to how to maximize your points. And all that I ask is if you find any value in this video, that you hit that like button. Alright, let's get straight into it by discussing our first criteria when deciding if it's a good credit card, and that is going to be the joining requirements and then the annual fee. So there's actually two different versions of this credit card, and if you watch any other reviews on this credit card, they're probably a little bit out of date because there used to be 3 credit cards a couple years ago, but they removed the first one because it was just such a bad card. It came with an annual fee and it didn't really even give you any good rewards. So the way that this works is if you have under a 700 credit score, you're going to get what's called the My Best Buy credit card. But if you have over a 700 credit score, you're going to get My Best Buy Visa credit card. And they're almost the same thing, but the Visa credit card can be used outside of Best Buy to earn rewards on everyday purchases like gas and food, while the base credit card is just going to give you rewards inside of the store. I'll cover this a little bit more in the rewards category, and these are both 0 annual fee credit cards. So for this category, I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 stars because I like that even if you don't have the best credit score, you can still get a card that's going to give you a lot of the same rewards as their higher tier credit card is going to give. Let's move on to the next category, which is going to be the sign-up bonus. And this one's pretty interesting. Usually when you get a new credit card, you're going to have to wait a week or two before you get it. But this is a credit card that you're going to be able to use instantly with a virtual number. And they actually incentivize you to use it immediately with that sign-up bonus. So the way that this sign-up bonus is going to work is instead of getting that 5% back, you're going to get a 10% back on your first purchase from Best Buy within the first 14 days. So let's say that you know that you're going to go into Best Buy and spend a lot of money, maybe on a new computer or on a new TV, or you're setting up a new house and you just want a bunch of electronics for it. But regardless, you know you're going to spend a lot of money. You can go in, open up this credit card, and then get 10% back on everything. And I actually like the way that they do this. They're incentivizing people to spend more money at their store, but they're giving you a really, really high percentage of cash back on something that you're probably already going to buy anyways. It's a little different than most other credit cards that just give you $100 or $200 when you sign up. But if you use this right, then you're going to have the potential to earn a lot of cash back. Just make sure you have your first purchase within 14 days or that's going to expire. So for this category, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. So let's move on to the next category, which is going to be the statement credits and benefits with getting this card. And there's really just one benefit that comes with it, and that's the special 0 APR financing that they offer you. And make sure you pay attention for this part because that's the reason why a lot of people get this card. They want to make a big purchase at Best Buy and then pay it over time. The way that this works is there's going to be different terms depending on how much money the thing that you're buying is. And then if the balance is paid off by the end of that term, you're not going to have to pay any interest. But they use something called deferred interest. So let's say you buy a new MacBook for $1,000 and you finance it over a year. If you pay it all off by the end of the year, you're not going to have to pay any interest, and you're essentially borrowing this money for free. But if you don't finish paying it off by the end of that term, you're going to have to pay interest on the entire thing. So even if you owed $1 left over on your balance after that 12 months end, you're not going to pay interest on that dollar. You're going to pay interest on the entire year of your purchase. And the interest for this credit card is pretty high. It's around 30%. So you'd have to pay the full $300 even if you had $1 left over. So make sure if you're using the 0 APR financing period that you're paying the whole thing off in full by the end of the period. When you're setting up this payment, it's going to suggest 2 things. The first is a minimum payment, and then the second is the suggested payment. Always put the suggested payment because that's going to give you the exact amount that you're going to need to pay off before the period's over. For the benefits category, I'm going to give this 2.5 out of 5 stars. Let's move on to the next criteria, which is going to be the rewards that come with this credit card. So there's going to be 3 different rewards categories that come with this card. The first is 5% back on Best Buy. The second is 3% back on gas stations. And then the third is 2% back on all your dining and groceries. These rewards don't matter as much to me because there's a lot of credit cards that give you 2% back on every single one of your purchases. So those dining and grocery categories aren't really going to make any difference for me. And then the 3% back on gas is okay if you don't have another gas credit card, but there's a lot of credit cards out there that'll give you 5% back on your gas. What most people are here for is that 5% back on Best Buy. If you get their higher tier credit card, then you're going to get all the benefits. But if you get the lower tier credit card, you're just going to get the rewards at Best Buy, which I think is okay because those other rewards aren't really going to make that big of a difference. So for the rewards itself, I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. It does its job, which is giving you the rewards back at Best Buy, but the rest of the categories don't really matter. So let's move on to the next category, which is going to be redeeming these credit card points. And you're pretty much forced to redeem for cash back at Best Buy. They're going to call it a certificate, but that's pretty much just a gift card that they're giving you. So whatever amount of cash back that you're earning, you're just going to get as a gift card to Best Buy. All your points are going to redeem at the standard 1 cent per point. And this is where this store card and a lot of other store cards kind of drop off for me because I like to see when credit cards allow you to redeem your cash back for actual cash back. That's one of the reasons that I love my Amazon Visa so much is because all the points that I'm earning at Amazon, I can just redeem for cash back and use them wherever I want. It looks like after I recorded this video, they did add an option to redeem for gift cards, which is a lot better, but still there's no cash back. But for the redemption category, I'm going to give it 1.5 out of 5 stars. Now let's take a look at the card design itself. This is just a plastic card, but Citi usually does a pretty good job with keeping their cards simple and clean. This one's going to look a lot like the Amazon credit card that I was just talking about. It does look a little bit like just a gift card. If you're getting their lower tier version, it's just going to be a plain card with Best Buy. But if you're getting their Visa credit card, it's going to have the Citi logo up top, which is the bank that sponsors them. But for the design of the card, I'm going to give it 2 out of 5 stars. Let's move on to the pros and cons. For the pros of this credit card, it's 0 annual fee, so you're getting all these rewards for free. You're going to get a lot of cash back for Best Buy, and then they offer that special financing for 0 APR. There's 2 really big cons that I'm seeing. The first is that the redemption is just so limited for this card. And then the second is that there's a really high interest rate that comes with this credit card. So if you don't finish paying off your balance before that end of the promotional period, you're going to be hit with a really big interest fee. This card really only makes sense for someone that spends a lot of money at Best Buy. Maybe you like going there to buy gaming consoles or accessories for your PC. So if tech is one of your hobbies, then this card can make a lot of sense. But if you're someone like me that buys a lot of their stuff on Amazon, I don't think I've been inside of Best Buy for like 2 years. I'm kind of cheap, so I buy most of my electronics refurbished on back market for like half the price. But overall, I'm going to give this credit card 3 out of 5 stars. I like it better than some other store credit cards because you can get some usage outside of Best Buy with that 3% back on gas. Let me know what you guys would rate this card out of 5 stars, and go check out my review on the Amazon Prime Visa after this one.